is no better way to put it. I mean, the best way to start still remains starting. All right, it's the conversation on TOS Television Network, your digital first Pan-African news network. And as always, we're reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. As always, today's episode of the show promises to be interesting and very, very engaging. My name is Adesuwa Osui.
And my name is Merciful Ajunimo. A warm welcome to the conversation. How are you, Adesuwa?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
What do you think about, in the quote of the day?
All right. I think basically you start doing something. We have dreams and visions and plans, but we keep talking about them. You meet friends.
Yeah.
Hi, I want to do this, When are you going to start?
All
So
right.
just start doing something, basically.
So basically just start.
Yeah.
All right, getting into, stories and developments from across Africa. And we will be starting from this story on Equatorial Guinea. It says profit gotten from the sale of a beachfront mansion in California belonging to Theodore Ngweme Obiang Mangwe, the eldest son of Equatorial Guinea's president, that was part of millions of dollars worth of assets seized by the United States Department of Justice in 2011, will be used to fund the purchase of COVID-19 vaccines. The other assets included a private plane, a fleet of luxury cars, and a high-end collection of art, jewelry, and memorabilia purchased through an anonymous U.S. company, while Theodore's official salary as agriculture minister was less than $100 per year.
That's $100,000 per year.
$100,000.
Well, yeah, it's a good story. It's good because I think we do not just have the money being seized; is being made to put into use for COVID-19 vaccines and everything. And I think African leaders should just learn from all of this.
What kind of frivolous spending with that?
You have to be accountable to your people. You have to know that everything you have, every position that you have attained is to serve. When African leaders begin to think like this, everything becomes good.
Yes.
We move over to Tanzania, where the country has suspended the newly increased petrol prices. The government of Tanzania has suspended the new fuel price that came into effect on Wednesday, September 1st, and a team has been formed to investigate the cause of rising prices. The acting director of the Energy and Water Regulatory Authority, Godfrey Chibulunje, speaking in Parliament on Wednesday, said new fuel prices are announced every first Wednesday of the month by Ewura.
Wait, every first Wednesday of the month they get to increase new fuel prices, and seems as though they don't even know why they keep increasing the fuel prices. Well, all right, moving away from that to Kenya. So Kenya's black rhinos, sable antelope, and 3 other species are critically endangered, while 9 more species, including lions, elephants, and cheetahs, are endangered from an expanding human population, the government said. The government defined as critically endangered those species that could go extinct without immediate measures being taken, while species on the endangered list may survive longer without intervention.
And this story from Eastern Congo says 4 killed, dozens kidnapped in convoy ambush. Suspected Islamist militants ambushed a convoy in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo on Wednesday, killing 4 civilians and taking dozens as hostages, and set fire to the vehicles afterwards, the government said. About 80 people are believed to be missing after the attack on a convoy of about 100 vehicles traveling with army protection on the road between the cities of Beni and Butembo. Quite
sad, actually. All right, with that, it's a wrap on development across Africa's segment. But before we close the segment, I have to bring you a COVID-19 update from across Africa. And after that, we'll be, going over to the big story.
The OSTV Network mobile app is now available. You can now catch up on our breaking news, stream our programs live, watch out for the latest update on sports and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our TOS TV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. TOS TV News from Africa by Africans.
Thank you for staying tuned to the conversation, showing you on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. Don't forget you can be a part of our social media platforms. That is at TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And you can also like and subscribe to our YouTube page, TOS TV Network. It's the big story segment, the crux of the conversation. And this morning we're talking about insecurity, and over 70 students have been kidnapped by bandits in Zamfara state. Joining us on this topic via the telephone is Jonathan Onoja, a security consultant. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir. What can you make of the invasion of Government Day Secondary School Kaya in Zamfara State, where we had over 70 students abducted in what can be said is the third attack on schools in Zamfara this year alone?
Yes, it's quite unfortunate that we find ourselves in this society, in this part of society, when we have refused to take deliberate actions to mitigate our misfortunes. From January this year, 2021, down to June 2021, over 5,800 people have been killed in different parts of the state of this country called Nigeria, having about 1,373 students abducted from school. You know, and from June this year down to this very day, we have about 1,400 students kidnapped across the state. Now, what that has to show us is to show that seeing our militaries and even the kidnappers being compensated with ransom payment, it just to show that it's now become a lucrative business. Before now, we have asked our military to assist in one way or the other, but even when the defense is defenseless, with the recent attacks on the NGA, you will agree with me that the students have no other choice than to defend themselves. Go around schools today, you will agree with me that there are no appropriate measures put in place to safeguard the lives of these children in schools. Even down to government institutions, we discover that there are no proper structures put in place to mitigate these things. And now, how do we fight all of these things? We cannot be fighting counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency at the same time. We can fight counter-terrorism by going straight to the root cause of insecurity, and that is by the sponsors. When we want to fight counter-terrorism, let's fight the sponsors. We will now have about 400 persons sponsoring terrorism in this country. What have we been done? What have the country been able to do to them? They are not even be able to publish their name. There are no punishment for all of what they have done. But we keep rewarding evils by paying ransoms to some of these gangsters called bandits and all of that every day. And this is to show that government is sponsoring and at the same time encouraging crime. Because once you start paying ransom, you encourage them to do more. Now, unfortunately, these students have been kidnapped. Over 73 of them have been kidnapped. Their fathers will be in trauma, and sometimes their father goes out their own way to pay ransoms to all of this to these guys to make sure that their children are released. So I see that it is politically motivated. Government is supporting because I felt that they have no other choice. It's a classical weakness on the part of government. So they have no other choice than to support them in one way or the other. This is what I found, and this is what I can say for
now. Now, when you say supporting, are you saying because they encourage the act of giving ransom? Is that the method of supporting that you call it?
Please permit me come again.
Yes. When you say government is supporting these criminals and their act, is it because of the payment of ransom to these kidnappers?
Yes. It is because of the payment that has made the business very lucrative. The payment of ransom have encouraged them to do more. The payment of ransom is a reward for job well done. That is what I can say. It's a reward for job well done, because if it is not welcome, it should have been discouraged. So we must review our policy for ransom so that we can at least come out of this menace. Because as long as we continue paying these ransoms, trying to support these insurgents with vehicles, operational vehicles, we even see some them making demands, giving them food, and all of that, donating foodstuffs to them, is to encourage them to do more. So what I can say, or what I can deduce from government actions towards this bandit and all of that. They are no longer bandits, they are terrorists. We cannot continue giving people a name called bandits when their operations is equal and even beyond what terrorists in other countries does. So I can say that it is government rewarding them that have made them have their feet on ground still this very day. Until we review our
think
policy, we cannot come out of it.
Okay, but do you think there's any other option at this point than to actually, pay ransom to secure releases? Because I do know that the Zamfara state government had, over time, restricted movement in the state, which restricted activities. I think as of yesterday, schools were shut down, and then the dusk to dawn curfew.
Even fuel sales too.
In the state. But we still keep having, these abductions anyway. So despite measures, we still keep having, the abductions. Don't you think that ransom payments might be the only way out at this point?
No, ransom payment is not a solution to the problem of grant. Except if I didn't get you clear. Ransom payment is never a solution to the problems of grant.
So what then should be done, really?
What we should be doing is to fight the root cause. Now, how do we fight the root cause? We can start fighting the root cause by uprooting their roots, by ensuring that their sponsors are brought to book and penalized. Then when that are being done, we can now further go ahead to do what we call counter-insurgency. So what we're channel our energy doing now is counter-terrorism. There's a difference between counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency. So let's channel our energy to counter-terrorism by bringing those in power, sponsoring one or two of these chains to book, penalize them, prosecute them. We said we know them. The Attorney General says he's going to publish their name. The NSA has told Nigerians on different national televisions that he knows those that are behind them and he's been giving them warning. At this point, let them bring them to book, penalize them and prosecute them. But it's unfortunately that these terrorists at the end of the day when apprehended are even rewarded as a way of giving them amnesty, and sometimes they came to tip them to come up with something like they are sorry, apologizing to Nigerians so that they can be forgiven. So there is no punishment for crime. Rather, there is a reward for crime until we come up by fighting the root cause, which are their leaders, their sponsors. Once we are able to identify them and nab them, then I believe that is when there cannot be flow of funds going to all of these things that they cannot use to operate through, terrorize the country. Once that is not done, the next step is to enter what we call counter-insurgency by putting infrastructures in place and addressing the key issues that can lead to poverty and also from poverty to crime. That is counter-insurgency. Putting all those things in order, preventative diplomacy, ensuring that we are able to put those things in place before even occurrence. Are you in here?
Yes.
So this is where we are going to start from. So we cannot start negotiating with crime crime actors at this point when we are supposed to be fighting the crime actors. Because what we are doing, our policy is to negotiate. We shouldn't negotiate now. We should fight them with teeth and nail. We should fight them hard at this point. When we are done fighting them, not direct fighting, but by exposing those that are behind them, sponsoring them, bring them to book, penalize them, prosecute them, cripple their resources, then they cannot be able to finance the operations of all of those guys fighting us in the country. When that is done, then government can see a way out to fight other things.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan, once more for joining us on the conversation this morning.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful. All
right. Thank you so much, viewers, for staying tuned to the conversation. And don't forget, you can be a part of our social media community. Contributions, opinions, they are all welcome. That's the OSTV network. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube page so you do not miss out on our amazing content. Thank you again. I am Merciful Ajinamo.
My name is Adesuel Soyi. Thank you so much, and please stay safe.